Education and Economic Development meeting to order. If everyone could please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Kelly, can we have roll call, please?
Yes. Cheney?
Here.
Menuda? O'Donnell?
Here.
Sassy?
Here.
Sierra? Stiganga?
I'm here.
Tortel?
Here.
And Riskevich.
Here. Okay, first up, we have Nicole Anderson, Director, Community Development, request to accept and appropriate $1,343,670 in Emergency Solutions Grant funding, CARES Act funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to prevent, prepare for, and respond to coronavirus among individuals and families who are homeless or receiving homeless assistance, and to support additional homeless assistance and homelessness prevention activities to mitigate the impacts created by the coronavirus. Legislative request number 140. Could I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved, Tortel.
Second.
Okay. Tortel Stenenga. Okay, Nicole, it's all yours.
Okay, so this funding is going to be used. The Office of Community Development is going to be entering into a MOU with DSS. And this funding, this 1.3 million, is also going to be used along with the 533,000 that we've already received of ESG CV funding, which then totals our ESG CV funding out $1,876,977. So we're going to be working with DSS to administer this program, which is essentially going to pay for utility and rental arrears for people that are at risk of homelessness and are being evicted from their homes. So that's it.
Okay, any questions, comments from committee members? Other legislators? Okay, with that, I'll call the question. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Bill Fioravanti, Director, Economic Development, for monthly update. I don't see Bill on here. Bill, are you with us? I don't think so. All right, we're going to skip over for that. Maybe he'll join us later. He did submit a written report, which you all got with your packet. So next we will move to Lucy Joyce, Executive Director, Cornell Cooperative Extension, for an update on Cornell Cooperative Extension. Lucy?
Hi, thank you, Chairman and members of the E&E Committee. Happy to be here this afternoon and giving an update on what's happening with Cornell Cooperative Extension. Hope you're all well and your families as are well also. Better days are coming. Not sure exactly when and how, but they are definitely coming. When the pandemic first hit, we had to completely pivot, as did most organizations that deal directly with people. We're a hands-on, in-person group generally. It's how we reach our participants. And we had to pivot very, very quickly to stay in touch with participants and clientele and move forward in a positive way and really help people manage through all of this. So one of our values is to be able to respond, and we really responded and pivoted very quickly. So how some of that happened is our educators immediately started creating online programming. So as one example, we were towards the end actually of training teachers on the chick incubation embryology program that they would be using in the classroom. So our educator had fertilized eggs, brought them home, chicken and duck eggs, brought them home, and then filmed a series of video sessions through the whole weekly sessions through the entire period, 21 days for chicks, 28 for ducks, through hatching, through the first couple of days of hatching and how you care for them. And the teachers were able to use those videos as part of their formal classroom teaching. So that's one way that we had to pivot really quickly. So instead of having the eggs in the classroom, they were able to at least see them, online. So that's one example of the kinds of pivoting and online work. With our Relatives as Parents program, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag. We've been able to have support groups and the youth be engaged. It was an even harder audience than some others due to having a couple of things. One, when we have them in person, we're able to separate them by a couple of rooms, the caregivers and the youth. That allows the caregivers a lot of privacy to talk amongst themselves. And they were, you can't really be as frank as you might want to be with your colleagues when your kids are kind of lurking around and might be able to hear exasperation in your voice or whatever you might share at a support group meeting. And sometimes we were unable to sort of have the youth at the same time as the adults because there's only so many devices in the household. So that's been interesting. However, we have been able to reach some people who haven't been able to come to meetings. And so that's an example of how our reach can actually go further through virtual than we have in the past. And that's something in some way that we want to keep in the future as we move forward. Providing organizations and households with food became really paramount. And our gleaning program, we ended up shifting some staff who were involved with other educators to actually delivering food. It's not really our mission to deliver food to households, but we did it. That was a need, and we continue to do it, although we're backing off that now. But we had a whole disruption in the food system that was seriously problematic, and I'll get back to that in a minute. And so we've been delivering produce and packaged goods to about 50 to 70 families on a weekly basis. So literally a whole week's worth of shopping for that family they would receive on a weekly basis with a variety of foodstuffs. And working with Deputy Commissioner Irene Kurlander, who at the county level was really doing a great coordination with all the agencies that were involved in delivering food. But the food pantries and soup kitchens lost a lot of volunteers, Meals on Wheels stopped, and so others had to really pick up in that way. Our gleaning program is off the charts busy, kind of unsustainably as busy as they are right now. We are filling the truck and emptying it in 2 days for months on end, and that's unheard of for us to move that much produce. So that's filling a really important need there. Happy to do it. We also have volunteers that are delivering the food now to households and not using staff in that area. Our nutrition educators, 2 different federal programs, the SNAP Ed program, which you've heard about, and also our expanded food and nutrition education program. Both programs have gone virtual with, again, videos so that people make healthy and cost-effective choices regarding, their food. As part of that, because our gleaning program is 100% grant funded through HIPNEP, that's the state HIPNEP, Hunger Prevention Nutrition Assistance Program. They are the ones who fund soup kitchens and food pantries. And they have now this Nourish New York program, which you might have read about, where we're buying food and or coupons and distributing them. So buying food is not what we do. And so this was a lot off mission for us. So we thought, well, how can we make this really happen? So we have about $129,000 that were to receive. We did get an advance, which is really important because state grants are slow to reimburse. So that's been a problem for us. But in any case, the Nourish program, instead of just going after really large outfits, our ag program leader, Mary Ulrich, really wanted to make this substantial. And she's been reaching out to farmers. So we get food donated, produce donated in the summer. That's how the gleaning program's been working. But now that we're going to buy food, we thought, well, can we contract with farmers for the food products that's in high demand, but we are very limited. So for example, sweet corn, some squashes and tomatoes, products like that. And so we're working to try to do that. Dairy was a huge issue of this program when it started. You might remember there was a lot of dumping of milk, and it was just crazy, the whole disruption in the dairy industry. And there are 3 dairy farms in Orange County who pasteurize and process dairy products, 2 milk and 1 yogurt. And we are able with this program now to buy milk from our local farmers and distribute that locally, either in the form of the product itself or coupons. Coupons are an interesting thing, took a long time going, but we have about $20,000 worth of dairy coupons for Price Chopper. Of course, there's one in Middletown and one in Newburgh. And that ranges everything from a mozzarella cheese stick through to whole milk, cottage cheeses, yogurts, and such, and the like. And so that's how our intentions are to spend the money, but to try to keep it as local as is possible, so that our producers here benefit. And then our distribution is beyond Orange County, but we're pretty much sticking with our gleaning area of, so it's about 6 counties, but the majority going around here. So that's been interesting how things kind of come your way. The whole food safety and having farmers prepared with their farm workers, and maintaining the highest standards for their production practices is a priority, both from the state, ag and markets, and to us. And Cornell's been very active. One of the serious benefits of being part of this whole system is that the food program at Cornell's just had the best information on the coronavirus and where the risks are outside of food, even just generally. Wear the mask. I'll say that. Wear the mask. Keep your distance. Wash your hands. That's really important. So even our most well-grounded, stable people are getting depressed, anxious. This coronavirus and all its effects are really taking a toll on people. So much less those who've had adverse childhood experiences and other trauma in their lives. So our building resilient communities is going very strong, high demand. And our educator, who you heard last year, Ulrika von Stackelberg, is really playing a lead role in the state to help expand this through the whole system. So we're pretty excited about that. And she was responsible, other staff as well, but she took the lead role in revising the curriculum of Discipline's Not a Dirty Word. That's toddlers through about 5 or 6, because it's important to have that trauma-informed lens so that the facilitators can work with the caregivers and parents who are taking this class, a series actually, in order for them to be able to recognize their own past traumatic experiences so that they can kind of modify maybe how they respond to their children. Let's see. And our education center in 4-H Park has been an enormous value to the association as we've been reopening. We've had a number of limited, right, in number of people, but we've had 4-H project exhibition, the dog program, the advanced youth who are with dogs have been out there. The beginners required too much hands-on, so we needed youth who were more experienced with their animals, but they've been out there, had a youth fun day, and a stormwater management training program is planned to be out there so we can have more in-person people attend, and also we use Zoom and not Microsoft Teams, but we'll be Zooming that out to a larger audience through the state. The great news is thank you so much for your multiple resolutions in helping us become a certified agriculture fair, or recognized, I guess, through the Department of Ag and Markets. We are. And that means even though there's no county fairs this year or state fair, but we are able to receive premiums for the youth who participate. And as a result, Warwick FFA came over and participated with us. It was terrific to have that happen. Both of us had in-person and online or remote judging of projects. So they'll be able to get premiums as well. It's a reimbursement. We'll have to pay it out first and then get reimbursed from the state probably around February if they don't hold it too long. And when and if there's ever fair infrastructure money available again, I don't know, with the pandemic, we will be eligible. So thank you so much for all of your support and everyone else who was involved with it. That was really terrific. And just, we're a good investment for Orange County. This year is kind of hard to measure, but in 2019, the county appropriation of $1.623 million leveraged over $6 million in actual expenditures. The reason your appropriation is so critically important is it allows us to be flexible and to pivot. We were able to take, county funded staff and switch them to gleaning just to be responsive for a period of time. But additionally, a lot of the grants are reimbursable, most of them, and you help us float it. So we intend to be a beacon of hope and resilience here in Orange County as we reopen and move towards a uncertain future. I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Okay, any questions for Lucy? I see Jimmy O'Donnell has his hand up. Jimmy?
Yeah, thank you. Lucy, great job as always. I just want to extend my appreciation to one of your educators, Lisa Hintze. Am I saying that correctly?
Hintz, Lisa Hintz.
Hintz. Right, Lisa Hintz and her daughter, Madison, sent appreciation cards to every police department and police officer in Orange County. So that was very well done, and I sincerely appreciate the support for the police. Thank you. Make sure you let them know we appreciate it. Thank you.
I sure will. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Nope. All right, thank you, Lucy.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay, I see Bill Fioravanti is now with us. So, Bill, if you want to give your monthly update, I know you provided the written report with our packet, so everyone should have had a chance to read that over. So maybe if anyone has any questions, they can ask. And then, Bill, if you want to, expand on anything or, talk about anything else or.
Yeah, if I could, I'll just touch on a couple of things. First of all, I apologize for being late. I was working on something tied to Camp LaGuardia, which I'll get to in a second. And I was counting on Nicole Anderson reporting for longer because she has an awful lot going on. So I thought that would at least be 5 minutes, but I missed. I apologize. So I'm back. I'll just go through a couple of things on that report. As you said, everything else is in there. I won't elaborate on everything. First of all, our calls from businesses about COVID, related issues, reopening, financial issues, this, that, and the other. Obviously, that slowed tremendously, almost kind of fallen off a cliff about 5 weeks ago because most businesses have reopened. We're still getting some. I know Mr. Cheney referred someone to me also. So if you have other folks that are still, constituents of yours that are facing issues, please. We're not done fielding those calls. They just have, the volume has just dropped off tremendously. Of course, one of the industry sectors we still get a lot of calls from are our local gyms. Obviously, they've been frustrated. They've actually undertaken a class action suit against the governor, and I imagine that's one of the reasons why he today finally moved on that. And gyms now, there's new guidance that's come out from New York State where gyms can start reopening August 24th, so next week. They are requiring masks on all the time. Facilities have to upgrade their air ventilation if it's not sufficient enough. They need real filtration types of exercise going on, and they also have to do health screening. There's a requirement for local governments to play a role here and inspect those facilities. They don't necessarily have to do it ahead of time before they're reopening, but within a couple of weeks of reopening, they actually have to do that. So we're waiting for the guidance to be completed on that, so we know if it's us, Department of Health, local municipalities, how we'll work together on that. But obviously, that's a welcome update to the guidance and to the reopening plan because gyms have been left out there in the cold and caused a lot of frustration both on the constituent side as well as the business side. So that's it on businesses and reopening. Foreign trade zone, very quickly, as I mentioned in the report. We're working on a new prospect for our new subzone within our FTZ, a new client. We have one that moved. I reported a while ago that actually changed FTZs from out of ours, FTZ number 37, to this is an upstate company, to Cayuga County, which is right next to them. They've talked about it for a while. I knew it was coming since I came on board here, and it finally did happen. So we're looking to backfill that as quickly as possible. We have a distribution company that's located downstate who, through our kind of initial roadshow that we did to promote the relaunch of FTZ 37, found out about it and contacted me several months ago. Kind of slowed down through COVID, but now they they are submitting their application for a sub. We're hoping that that kind of nets us out equally from the company that unfortunately we lost. And we are retooling our marketing efforts. We had planned a series of road shows, so to speak, where we'd go out and promote the foreign trade zone and its benefits to basically our partners in economic development, not just locally here in Orange County, but of course our FTZ can work and cross borders, our county borders and such. As most of you know, we have the Gap across the river in Dutchess County, supporting an enormous operation and thousands of jobs. Our FTZ is a huge benefit to them as well. So we can bring in clients from all over. But we were going to continue to go on the road and promote this. We have to retool now and do most things electronically. And we are putting together, planning a mailing campaign for the beautiful new FTZ brochures we have. Just want to make sure that it's not too costly, given the fact that we're all trying to keep our budgets very, very tight with each department right now. But one way or another, we're going to continue to promote FTZ and hope to have a number of additional prospects in the pipeline. Two other things. Corridor study, Montgomery has just begun a corridor study for really basically the whole town, but it will encompass some of the village as well. A lot of folks that are anti-development, you're seeing a real growing kind of contingent in Montgomery because of the recent large warehouses that were added. A lot of those folks, same folks, are complaining that this is going to be just a study that's done to say, yep, you should have more warehouses here. That's absolutely not the case. It's not true. Warehouses actually won't be a focus of the study. They're going to be focused on all sorts of industry sectors that will make sense in Montgomery. They're looking at the tech sector as we are, so that's something that they're specifically outlining. And it will have other benefits, this study will, such as looking at the three villages, Maybrook, Montgomery, and Walden within the town, looking at even their how they're doing in terms of retail sales. And the study can rely on a number of sources to find where there's leakage, meaning where maybe retail sales opportunity and sales tax opportunities are being lost outside the area. They're going elsewhere. It's also going to find other kind of community benefits that are possible. So it's a great study that I think everyone across the board is going to be happy with, and it's certainly going to inform the town and the villages of ways that they can enhance economic development efforts right there. So that's something that I was asked to participate in. We had our first meeting last Monday, a week ago, and look forward to the follow-up meeting that's going to be into reporting really the outcomes to you, because we think that's going to be a really positive thing. And lastly, quickly, you all know that we have 2 RFPs out. One for the historic Grand Street buildings in Newburgh. We did receive 2 quality proposals for that. So we're in the midst of reviewing and analyzing those. And of course, those are going to come to the legislature for a decision ultimately. And the second is Camp LaGuardia. Frankly, we've had a lot of interest, but we want to see more submitted proposals and really maximize the opportunity that property can not just offer us for bringing a developer in, but to a company that wants to invest and develop and bring an end user in. For Camp LaGuardia, we are extending the deadline on that. Just so you know, we are in the middle. We're working with the Orange County IDA for their support on an advertising campaign that will go in the Wall Street Journal beginning this Wednesday, in the Journal's commercial real estate section that comes out every Wednesday. We're going to run that for 3 times, and we're looking to support that with a digital campaign. Our budget's tight, as I just alluded to a minute ago, so we're trying to keep it as tight as possible, but trying to see if we can allocate a few more funds to actually support the print ad campaign with some digital ads as well. Because again, we want to maximize really the opportunity for Camp LaGuardia to bring in as many investors, developers, potential businesses as possible. So that's what we're focused on at the moment.
Okay, I see Legislator Cheney has his hand up. Go ahead, Barry.
Thank you, Paul. Bill, thanks very much for focusing on individuals. I know you've got a lot on your plate, but you're also taking care of individual people with problems, and that's much appreciated. They have a lot of trouble sometimes wading through the bureaucracy that's out there, and your knowledge and professionalism has helped them greatly. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Second question, I guess the first question, the U.S. Space Command. There's a comment in your report that it appears that Governor Cuomo will not be supporting the county's application for this. Is there another application in the state that he's behind? What's the deal?
I haven't been able to get an answer to that. That frankly came to us from Senator Gillibrand's office. The county executive and I saw her when she came to visit to announce a proposed bill around workforce issues related to COVID. She came to Scenic Technologies out in New Windsor, PRG, where they manufacture Broadway sets and things like that, and they've had to pivot. She came for a tour there and to make this announcement about a proposed bill. And of course, the county executive was part of that. And then he and I walked and talked with her afterward, shared the report, and then asked her for her advocacy on it. Her office, her chief of staff, called me the very next morning, first thing in the morning, and said, "We reviewed this. We thought it was terrific." We contacted the governor's office, and they were given the impression that the proposal for Stewart Airport won't have the support of the governor. There's a lot of conjecture as to why that is. Trying to get to the real answer. It could be tied to the fact that, of course, it's a Port Authority airport. He may have other goals for that, including keeping cargo travel there. He's talked about doing that, offloading cargo shipments from the other Port Authority airports around New York City, moving that to Stewart. The answer is I'm not really sure why, but that's the indication. I have to say it's second or third hand, depending on how you look at it, through Gillibrand's office, but disappointing nonetheless. I hope it's not true, but we still have not gotten any indication directly from the governor's office that they will support it. So I'm not sure yet, sir, but so far it's not sounding like we have the support we need.
Disappointing. Individually, I just urge my legislative colleagues to do what they can to let the governor know that this is out there and it's very important to Orange County. And a lot of the benefits of Orange County that were portrayed in the application should resonate very well with both the federal government and the governor's office, I would think.
Thank you. I think it's a tremendous opportunity, one that I probably admitted a month ago that I didn't quite realize just what an amazing opportunity it was until I got into it, just until I spoke to other Air Force generals and such, and realized just how well positioned Stewart was. So it would be incredible for our area. It would be a great fit for U.S. Space Command. Sounds like maybe politics is just what's getting in the way. If any other political infusion can help us, I certainly would appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul, you're muted.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I had trouble getting off. Jim, I see your hand up, so you can go ahead with your question.
Hello, Bill. Jim Kulisek here.
Hello, sir.
The RFPs for the Grand Street properties came back. It was just 2 of them. I called out to Mr. Burpo's office to find out who was going to be on the review committee who would review those and make recommendations to us. And Jim was out that day, and they didn't have an answer on who was going to sit on that selection committee to make any kind of a recommendation. Do you know who is on any kind of a panel to do that?
The Deputy County Executive, Harry Poor, he's put that together. So I'm going to ask him. I'm actually in their suite right now because we were working on the Camp LaGuardia ad. I'll ask him to follow up on that if I could.
Great,
I was going to say, Harry
Sure.
might be on the call. I know he was earlier. Harry, with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's a very small group. We're going to look at it at the 2 proposals. We're going to, I've invited the president of the college because we want to integrate the college into this effort. And the work is really going to be very quick, very fast. I anticipate maybe 2, possibly 3 meetings, and then we'll be back to the legislature in September.
And may I, Paul, speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
And Harry, the offers seemed, dollar figures seemed awful low. I don't know if there's a projection of other things, ancillary things that would come with those 2 proposals. But we paid $3 million and change for these things. I'm looking at top price of $1 million. And I was just curious, that's why I was looking for information on who's on this panel that would be recommending something to the legislature.
Right. Well, again, our goal is to maybe not maximize so much the dollars that are involved, but to what's in the best interest of the city of Newburgh and the college and the best use for those buildings. So in our negotiations and our talks, we will explore price as well as the purpose and function of each of the two proposals that came in. It's a small group, like I say, it's myself, Eric Rusher, Bill Fioravante, Christine Young, Fred Watson, and Damian Brady, all administrative people, internal, to try to keep it as tight as possible and to get as much work done as quickly as possible.
Okay, is there any conversation with the city of Newburgh?
Oh, so I'm sorry, I left off the city manager. He's also part of the group.
Okay, very good.
There's going to be zoning issues, and we need to have the city's input. What do they want? I think it's a good group, a good working group, and we'll be able to get to the heart of the issues quickly.
Very good, thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Okay. Yeah, I see Legislator O'Donnell's hand up. Go ahead, Jim.
All right, a little disappointed that nobody from the legislature is on that committee, Harry. So if you could talk to the county exec and see if he can let a legislator be part of that. We are in charge of the property. Nothing happens to county property. It's the legislative side of the house. So the fact that there's no legislator on that committee is more than disappointing. Thanks.
Well, the purpose, I'll just answer that real quickly. The purpose is to be able to do our work as quickly as possible, as thoroughly as possible. When we get elected people involved, it affects open meeting laws and things like that. It's just the idea was that no matter what we do anyway, it's got to be approved by the legislature.
Lujan.
Okay, go ahead, Legislator Lujan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To Legislator O'Donnell's point, again, this is obviously a project that's going to benefit all of Orange County, but particularly here in the city of Newburgh, in my own district, this is obviously going to be a project that's going to have a great impact. I did reach out to the county executive about the same question and have yet to hear anything. And again, very disappointed that legislators won't be a part of this. Myself personally, I said, having this right in the heart of my district, it would be great to have some input, considering that, us as elected officials, despite, how it might, you said, slow things down, we know our districts very well, and we know our makeup of our districts very well. And there's a reason why we are chosen to be on this legislature. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I would agree with both of you that I think it would be helpful to have a legislator on that committee. However, we do get the final say on that, so we'll be looking forward to getting that back. Any other
more than the final say. Nothing will be able to happen unless the legislature approves it.
All right. Okay, other questions?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, who's there?
Joe Minuta.
Oh, Joe. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So echoing the same with the city of Newburgh, if there is an opportunity for legislators to be on that, a legislator or more, given my background and existing knowledge of those buildings and historic background, I would volunteer to be part of that committee, number one. So if there's an opportunity, please throw my hat in the ring. On the other item, I am very disappointed with regard to the governor's purported not backing this program over at Stewart Airport, which obviously is my jurisdiction district. So, Bill, if there's anything out there that I can be involved with to promote that, or anyone I should be talking to, I would greatly appreciate a reach out to do that.
I'll follow up with you, sir, about that for sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I see our legislative counsel, Antoinette Reed, has her hand up. Antoinette?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Riskevich. In the past, when the legislature has reviewed proposals for the sale of real property, we've actually had the proposers come in and make their pitches to the county legislature directly. So we did that with Camp LaGuardia in the past. So we had, with Mountco, we had Joel Mounty in. We had actually all three proposers come in, and they did a slide presentation and a verbal presentation of what they were offering and what their plans for the property would be. So that was not part of the administrative review committee of the proposals, but it gave the legislature the opportunity to meet with the proposers and to actually understand what their vision was for Camp LaGuardia. So I can't see any reason why we would not do the same for the Grand Street properties as well as for the Camp LaGuardia properties. But that would come after the proposals were reviewed and vetted by the administration.
Okay, thank you, Antoinette. Legislator O'Donnell, your hand up again?
Right, so I agree with council. So it shouldn't take the county exec's office more than a month to review those two proposals. So Chairman Riskevich, could you schedule those two proposed entities to come before us next month, please?
Yep, I will work with the county exec's office and we'll put something together.
We don't have to work with them. We just have to get the names and ask them to come in and
Well, I'll
show
reach
us
out.
what they did.
Yeah, we'll set it up.
Right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Other questions? Someone else have their hand up? No. All right. Well, there's no other questions, Bill. Thank you. I know you're busy and we appreciate the update.
Thanks very much.
Yep. And okay, next up we have Sarah Mckay, Executive Director of the Orange County Arts Council, for an update on the Arts Council. Sarah, thank you for taking the time. I know it's been a while since we've had you on. Things have been crazy, as you know. So thanks for coming to give an update. So it's all yours.
Well, thank you very much. I applaud all of you dealing with these challenging times. The last event before COVID hit was our Student Arts Showcase at the Galleria Mall, and there were over 1,000 people in attendance. So those of you who came, thank you very much for attending. For all the students in all of Orange County, that memory will be one of their good ones for 2020 when everyone was able to get together. Since COVID, we have actually had nearly doubled our membership and have seen an increase in the demand for our art support services. So oddly enough, we were surprised. We've been busier than ever. We've been able to pivot quickly to virtual events. And one of the odd things about moving to virtual events has been that probably 100% of our attendance has increased. So, for example, a studio visit, which we host throughout Orange County, building audience members for the artists, used to hold approximately 30 to 40 people because of the capacity of the locations. Now we're seeing 200 people plus register for one single event online. So we are still engaging people in the arts from inside Orange County and from outside Orange County as well. Right before March 16th happened, or March 13th it was, we had a meeting with the Port Authority in the city, and they actually were talking about bringing back their arts department for all of their airports, and they wanted to start with Stewart Airport. Of course, things have changed. That conversation has been tabled, but it would have been a giant public sculpture in Stewart Airport that was Instagrammable, and people could really have a sense of feeling and place when they come there. So unfortunately, we will have to revisit that conversation with Port Authority. We also this year, at the beginning of the year, met with MTA, and we were on their panel with several local government leaders from Port Jervis, and they have a new train station with murals that were decided on by the panel. So next time you're in Port Jervis at their new train station, please go and check that out. In response to the current challenge, what we have done is opened up free virtual online arts classes. This was independent funding, and we had over 130 students participate, and we paid professional artists, and they were offered in both Spanish and in English. So we supported families during this time, and we had children joining us 3 times per week in these online classes. So we were very proud of that, and we were able to get that up and started very quickly after schools shut down. And then we have, let's see, new program this year, all virtual. It's called Artist Conversations with Industry. And each month we invite industry leaders to discuss opportunities and careers in the arts with artists. So for example, this past month we had public art. We had a speaker from Americans for the Arts come on. We had Sekis, one of the top 50 graffiti artists in the world, and Urban Art Projects, who's also known as Polish Talix, formerly come and speak at that and connect to artists in the field. So that program has been tremendously successful, and hoping that we can help with the campaign Escape from New York, bringing more people from the city into Orange County. We have had started a campaign on social media, which blew up, which is really exciting because it's now national, and it's #TogetherInArt. And what we started doing, and we put out a press release about this, every free art and creative experience that people could attend from their home, we made sure people knew about it and tagged Together in Art. So that campaign has grown above and beyond, but it started right here in Orange County Arts Council. And I think giving Orange County the leg up and the competitive edge on the arts as people are fleeing the city, I think that will be a good synergy that we are working on. So I had run it by Mr. Alan Sorensen. I have a small video to show you. It should be about 4 minutes, if that's okay with you. And just bear with me while I screen share. I was trying to show, not tell as much, because I know everybody listens quite frequently. And here we go. And you'll just have to tell me if you can hear it.
There's no audio here.
No, we're not getting the audio.
Oh, you're not getting the audio?
No.
Oh dear. No audio for anybody?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to bear with me one more time. My first time screen sharing on, what is this? Teams. We use Zoom. So this is a new one for me. And include system audio. Here we are. Okay. Thank you very much. Just let me know.
That employ nearly 3,000 residents.
Is that good?
The creators account for 4% of the businesses located in Orange County. But these figures don't capture the thousands of contractors and self-employed artists making a living from their work.
According to recent census data, 362,000 people traveled to Orange County to visit arts and cultural events, earning $145 million in revenue and injecting $31.9 million directly into our economy.
Over the past year, we've directly supported over 130 artists, entrepreneurs, and organizations through our arts support services, which offers one-on-one support on issues directly affecting artists, like pursuing grants, writing press releases, connecting to resources, marketing, and business planning. We've made Orange County Arts Council more accessible by having office hours in the locations where our constituents are.
Over 400 members of the public have joined us for these studio visits hosted throughout the county. Studio visits bring education, cultural awareness, and connect artists to audiences. These studio visits are presented in collaboration with Newburgh Free Library and are coordinated by our Arts Outreach Committee, which is comprised of over 30 arts ambassadors and leaders in our arts community. Today, we visit the studio of sculptor Vivian Collins.
Maybe it's meant to facilitate a conversation right now.
With many students stuck at home due to challenges of COVID-19, we provided free online virtual art classes, reaching over 120 students and over 30 engaged in our Spanish translated recordings.
Hola amiguitas y amiguitos, mi nombre es Martín Domínguez Wall y voy a estar aquí ayudándolos y enseñándoles cómo hacer unos animalitos con cartulina.
Let's see it.
This is a lamb in his final home or habitat, the grass.
I would like to, if it's okay with you guys, to tell us a little bit more about yourselves and your organization.
As Martin said, I am co-founder, director of programs of Stockade Works.
And we are thrilled to be here and to be a member of the ever-expanding film family of the Hudson Valley. So thank you for being here tonight.
Just embrace productions, just make it a great experience for them to come here and shoot, and hopefully they'll spread the word.
How has COVID-19 affected me? What I see mostly is my clients, the people I work with, friends who have businesses are scrambling.
We're finding that it's art that's igniting the imagination and bringing people together.
What I hope for in the future for the arts in Orange County is for Orange County to be an artistic destination, for the word to be out within the Hudson Valley, but more importantly throughout the state of New York, for people to recognize that there is this burgeoning artistic community in Orange County, and that there are...
Orange County Community Arts Grants are made possible through the generous leadership of the Wesley Kruger Family Foundation and individual contributions. Funding for these grants are independent of government support. And in 2019, we were able to provide over $14,000 to 13 grant recipients, each selected on their artistic merit and community impact. Grant awardees are chosen by a diverse and independent panel of professionals representing the different geographical areas and cultures of our county. Artistic projects generated by this seed funding reached an estimated 18,000 people, and we were able to support projects in Newburgh, Middletown, Port Jervis, Sugarloaf, Greenwood Lake, Monroe, and Warwick.
These services and programs are only possible because of your support. Thank you for championing the arts in Orange County.
That's just so cool. That makes me feel so good that we have been able to design a program that attracts everyone. Like, that's the goal. That's awesome.
Little applause there.
Full applause.
Very good presentation.
Yep, very nice.
Still have access. There we are. Thank you for your patience with that while I figured that out. So did anyone, I know there's a lot of things that have happened over the past year. Is there any specific questions that I could answer right now?
Anyone have any questions for Sarah?
Jim Kulisek, no question, but a statement.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Great. How are you?
As you saw in that video, it touched every corner of the county with the arts. I mean, it was Warwick, Pine Bush, Newburgh, Greenwood Lake, even out on the far side. And I think it just reaches to all avenues of the county. So as much support as we can give the council, it would be much appreciated.
One more thing, if I might add, on September 15th, the annual Hudson Valley Creative Impact is coming up. It's scheduled to be at Storm King. Only 50 people are allowed to attend physically. Our plan B is to air it virtually. You are all invited to attend that event, where we will have speakers from industries throughout the county talking about the impact of the arts right now. So that would be great. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to echo the sentiments put forward by Legislator Kulisek. This obviously is a project that goes across the county, and it's really great to see. I know many individuals who have been participants. I think met a lot of people from across the county by interacting on some of these panels. And all I can say is it's really great, particularly with everything that's going on with COVID, to see that the community can come together and that they can put their energy in something like the arts, particularly our youth that have been unfortunately forced to stay at home, and really the lack of activities and resources and different things like that. This has been a real beacon of hope for, I think, many people. And I just wanted to just say thank you for all the work that you're all doing, because it's important work. And so I want to just echo that sentiment, that we appreciate the hard work of everyone and everything that you're all doing.
Thank you very much.
Canuto, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to applaud you for your efforts with this. The area is a beacon for the arts. Most of the people that we find commuting back and forth to New York City are the artists that are coming from this area. As a former juror for New York Council of the Arts, I really want to say you did a terrific job with the presentation, and I look forward to seeing more of these in the future. So again, thank you for all of your efforts.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Sarah, I know, trying to do things virtually can be challenging, but it's great to see that you've been able to reach a broader audience, and hopefully that's going to continue, post-COVID, and, that we can continue all the great work and programs that you're doing, because, as it's been said, you really do reach every part of the county. So
thank you very much. We're very much looking forward to 2021. Thank you all.
I think we all are. Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, that's all we have for our agenda, so I would look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Tortel.
Okay, Tortel, and is there a second?
Second, Cheney.
All right, Cheney. All right, all in favor? Aye, okay. Thank you, everybody.